everyone, welcome back. Lovely to have you back here to spend some time with me to make another little project. Hope you're all doing really well. Yes, I've got a jumper on today. The weather's like winter. We've had rain and all sorts. Right, enough with the British weather. We'll get on with our project. So today I've got a really little pretty pink number, so I'm matching. And I've used an envelope. There's a surprise. So yes, we could say this is envelope 28, I think. So I hope you're going to enjoy this one today. Now, I did get a little bit of inspiration from somebody, and that was from Gina from the Firefly Studio 67. Gina does a lot of things, and we used to do a little 5 and a dime, and I took a little bit of inspiration from an envelope project that Gina did there. So I'll put the link down so you can have a look at that as well. So envelope 28, here we have it. I love this kit, and this kit is a favorite of mine. It's one from Chapter 1 Papers called Shabby Florals, and it's just one of my favorites. So I resorted to going back to that today, and I just love how this has turned out. So this is probably my latest favorite. So I hope it's going to be your latest favorite too. So let's just have a look quickly and see what I've done. So we've got an envelope here. Well, it's half an envelope actually. And I've got a little butterfly on there. I've made a little window here. Put some die cuts, some little scraps, and made a little cluster here. We've got a little tag that goes in over there, and you can see I've put some nearly said fabric, some paper behind, so that looks really nice. I like that. And then when you open it up, you've got a little writing area over here. I have put this die that you've seen me use before. I thought, no, I'm not going to just make a pocket. I'm going to make a tricky pocket. So I've used that die again, which is from Studio Light. And if you open that up, you can see that I have got a little pocket I've stuck in there. And I've put the little bit that comes out the front in there from the window, and then one of the tags that I've just backed onto card and put a very simple bow to keep it flat in here. So that's that. And then that just closes up again. I won't do it because I'll probably end up going in here again. Oops, and then that's my glue falling over. And then I've got a little tag in the side there, and that closes. And on the underneath side I've got another area where you can write, and this little bit is how you're going to attach it onto a page. So I brought a tea stained page here like that, and I would attach this. Let me just see, I've got this. I would attach this and glue on those 3 sides there, so that you have this as a little tuck spot underneath. So you'd have that down over there, and when that sticks onto your page, let's say it'd be a bit lower, you've got your various envelopes with tags like that, your little cards, and then of course if that was stuck down, you'd have a little area to put something in or make notes or anything else underneath there as well. So that's what we're going to make today. So thank you for taking the time out to join me. I hope you're going to love what we're going to do. So let's just put that to the side. I'll put that over here. And I'll tell you what you need. So the first thing you're going to need is an envelope. And I've used a different envelope to Gina. So I have made my own take on this, which is quite different. But I've used a much bigger envelope. She used a window mailer. I'm not using a window mailer. I wanted a bigger, wider item when it was finished. So this envelope's 9 by 6.5 inches, or 23 by 16.5 centimeters. So that's the size of it. And the first thing I did here was cut it in half, exactly in half. So it's just a case of folding this in half like this, and then I just put it through my trimmer and I cut it completely in half. So I have done that because I didn't want to waste time distressing. So I cut it in half, so you'll have two halves like this. They would be like that. So that's the halves of the envelope. And then what I did was I effectively took this one so that both openings are on the same side, whichever side you choose. I folded that flap, instead of being like that, I folded it back. I've inked around the edges here. You're going to fit those together at the flaps, you see, match them up there like that, and then you're going to fold that over, and that's going to be where your two pockets are. Now you could do that this way and have them that side, it's up to you, but don't stick them together yet because I'm going to do something with them first. Right, so I find it easier to work with each individual component before I actually sandwich them together. So that's what I would suggest to you as well. So we're going to take the first one here. I'm going to put that one aside. And the first thing we're going to do is I made a little collage with a piece of paper and some scraps. I'm going to show you how I did that quickly. So I'll just leave that over there. And let's get to it. So the first page that I used, and the majority, is this page from the Shabby Florals kit, as I said, and there will be a link in the description box. And then I took the various bits from here. So let's get started. Because this wasn't, if you see, my first thing was, oh, I'm short there. So I decided, no, I'm going to collage it a bit. So that's what I did. All right, so let's have a go at that. I'm going to start at the bottom. So the first thing I did was I took my tear ruler. It's a really old tear ruler, so I do apologize. I'm going to just put it on the edge there. And pull off a little bit like that. And then I didn't cut off the bottom, but what I did was I just took off a little bit like this. Now you just need to measure it for how far across you need to go. So I can see that I need to tear it off there. So I'm going to do that just here. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to end up putting that bit over there. Sorry. Then I had all these little scrap bits lying about that went with it, so I thought, no, let's mix it up a bit. I like to mix it up a bit. So I had some of these lace bits from one of my digis, and I thought, yeah, that's good. I'm going to stick some of that over there. So I'm just going to take off that bit there, and I'll end up sticking that over there. Then I really liked this bit over here, so if I go like that, again, I'm just measuring, and I think it's up to this bit here. Like that, more or less. I'm going to tear off this bit here. I'm going with some rougher edges today, so that can go over there, that can go over there. Yeah, and then I wanted a little bit of pink, so I'm just going to see how much I need to use in a minute. So if I go and put that over there and that under there, and then all I wanted was a little bit over there, so let's just get that. That'll bring in some of the font, the typography, sorry. And we'll put that over that. So let's just check it out. Sorry, it's a long tearing process, but I thought I'd just talk you through it so you could see what I was doing really. I'm going to stick that down like that. And then this last little bit over here, I thought I'd just sort of repeat it a little bit and have a little bit of it down at the bottom here. So just like that, I'm going to stick that over there, and that sort of brings that and ties it all in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this all down, and I'm going to just distress the edges that I feel are going to stick out. Not all the edges, but the ones that are going to be on view. So I'll do that ever so quickly. I hope you guys are all well and that everybody's managed to get a little bit of craft time in. I know that the southern hemisphere are going into spring, my favorite season of all time, and I love spring. I just love the whole, it's like a new beginning, isn't it? It's like a new start, and everything's so fresh, and I just love spring. It's my favorite season. You guys must let me know what your favorite seasons are and why. I just love to see all the new flowers and just, oh, I don't know. I like summer, but it's probably my worst season because I don't like the heat, and I'd rather be cozy in winter and autumn and everything. So I do. Autumn's lovely as well, isn't it? Pretty colors and beautiful shades, but I definitely love spring. Right, now what we want to do is we want to work out, when we're layering this up, what's got to go down first. Now, as far as I can see it, when I was doing this earlier, I realized that this bit is the bit that's the lowest at the bottom layer, followed by that, and then that on the top. So it's going to go like that pretty much. So we've got to sort of take it down until we get to the last layer, which I think will be this piece here. So it's going to go in order there. So start with that and stick that down. Now what I just used my Uhu's, that one, Uhu stick, because I do stitch around the edge. But of course, just use whatever glue you're comfortable using that you know is going to stick and stay down, whatever that might be. So we're just going to go for it, and we're going to stick it all down. Oh, and I said don't stick that one down. See, I'm not even listening to my own advice here. All right, so we'll lift. Luckily it is just this, and it's forgiving, so there's that. Right, so I'm going to just stick that one down first, and it needs to go underneath, and then we're putting that one on top, so that's great. And then that one. Okay, I wonder if any of you have been going to the shops since the return and opening of shops and things. I haven't really gone to many of the shops because I just find everybody all on top of each other and really not being very good. And the shops where I am haven't been very good with their staff in some of the shops, wearing protective clothing, protective masks and stuff. So yeah, that's not very good, is it? So I don't know if any of you have found that too. They're quick to dish out the orders, but then their own staff aren't very good about following them through. Right, so let's talk about happier things. I'm still getting the most wonderful emails from everybody, and I really do feel like Merry Christmas, with everybody sharing their happy joys and on receiving the wonderful racks, and oh my goodness, it's been phenomenal. So thank you for sharing all of those emails and notifications with me. It's really warmed my whole week. It's been absolutely wonderful. And if you haven't thought of taking part in the subscriber friendship challenge of mine, please go and take a look at the video. I will link it. You have an opportunity to win a good couple of prizes that I've made, and warm up someone's day, put a ray of sunshine in their day. So go and have a look and see. If you're not entering because you don't have somebody you can nominate, you can forward a rack to, please contact me, because I have got lots of people's names of people that have contacted me who are taking part, or people that are willing to give me their addresses. So please contact me. Okay, let's move on. We've got our collage done, and I really love that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder, because I want to cut out the centerpiece here. So what I'm going to do, what I did was I just took my bone folder and I very gently just ran it down the side here. Now you don't have to worry too much, just do it carefully to the end to open it up like that. And once we've done that, you can now cut out your shape. Now use any shape that you have. I've used the Gemini die cuts here, and I've used this one over here. So I had it and I've never used it before today. It's lying in my cupboard, and I thought, right, today is the day. I love that shape, and I'm going to cut that in the middle there. So the shape, the size of the opening for me is 7 centimeters, or just short of, yeah, like 2 3/4 inches in diameter. So that's what I'm going to use for that, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, so we've cut that all out, and that's looking great. Now what we want to do is we want to put in the acetate window here, or whatever kind of window you're going to use before you do that. So for me, I am going to use an acetate window. Let's just take that all out the way. So here it is, clear acetate, and I'm going to stick that down. But remember, if you don't have acetate, use vellum, use tracing paper, or whatever old packaging you might have, and go and try that. Now I'm going to put glue on the very edge of my acetate, and I'm doing that because I don't want it to catch on the tag that is going to go in here. And then I'm going to run some just on around the edge of this so that it sticks that bit down as well. And then I'm going to just tuck it under that flap there, and we're going to press it down. There we go. Oops. Press that down. All right, now if you don't have a sewing machine, don't worry. The glue should hold that in place. But what I'm going to do very quickly, I'm going to stitch around there, and I'm going to stitch around the edge, neither of which is required for structure, but for me it's a decorative element and I just like to do it, so I'm going to just do that ever so quickly. All right, so here we have it. So I have stitched around there, as you can see, and I've stitched around the edge like that. So that's everything that we need to do on this front bit. All right, so we're going to turn it over. We're going to fold in that bit again, which is the side which we took apart earlier. We're going to fold this bit up like that, and we're going to glue that down. All right, so do it on this piece, because earlier I put the glue right up there, which is not required. So we're going to do that, and we're going to stick that back down on the place where it was, just like that. Okay, now don't worry about anything else, because we are going to cover that area in a minute. Okay, so everything is back as it was. Oh, forgot something. We want to put some cover, I don't want the yellow to shine through, so I'm just going to take a piece of this, which is also one of the pages from the kit, and I'm just going to tear off a piece here. You're not going to see anything other than a beautiful finish. So just going to tear off one of those bits like that, and I'm going to stick it over here so that when you look through the window, when you take the tag out, it looks pretty. So I'm just going to do that like that. Just get it quite close to the edge, just so that it's not going to interfere with the tag. Oops. Alright, so you just make sure that that goes quite high up there, like that. And then we can put our glue back on the side there, like that. And we can glue that back down. There we go. So that should not be catching. I'm just checking. Yep. So there we go. We've got a nice view inside the little window now. All right. So that's that. We'll come back and decorate this bit at the end. So now what we want to do is, after I've trimmed off that thread that's bugging me, we're going to turn this over. Now I'm going to, because if this is in your journal, you would turn it up like that and you would write that way. I want it to be this way, rather than turn it round and then you've got an upside down picture. So what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to stick some other bits down here. And what I've cut out is using another page from my porch prints. Another page from, God, I'm all over the place today, from chapter 1, and this is all from the Shabby Florals kit. So I'm going to stick this down like that. Now you can see it's slightly short there, so all I did was I took a piece from this that I had earlier, and I'm just going to measure what I need there. And I'm going to just tear that off. So we're using all the scraps from what we need. Now, bearing in mind you're going to have a tag come in here, so you don't want to fill that with glue. What we want to do is just put a thin bead of glue across the bottom. And now it's going to go that way. So we are going to leave a space there at the bottom. Just make sure you go close to the edge, like that, and we can stick that down. So stick it down at the bottom, and be mindful of the fold line. So for me it's up to the stitch line really, like that. There we go. And then use your bone folder. And then we can easily just work out how far we want to go to the top here. So that will go like that. And all I want to do is just neaten that edge off. Like that. Oh, I went a bit skew. Okay. And then we can stick that one down as well. So there we go. So you'll just stick this one down, and then we've got our little area that we can journal on, because it's got some little fine lines on it. So you've got a lovely area that you could actually write on at the back, and it's pretty secret as well, because it's not somewhere where you would, is quite obvious. So there we've got our little writing area there like that, and I think that's so pretty. So when that's down at the front, it's going to look like that, and when you turn that up like that, you can write there, and it's the correct way up. All right, so that one's looking pretty good. we can put that one aside. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the bottom area. And remember, keep these openings on the same side. So because that one is over there, make sure this one is also on the right hand side. Okay, so we're going to do this middle panel now, or the bottom flap now. And what I did was I took a piece of the paper that I've shown you from the kit, and I've measured it already, so I'm going to stick that down, and again to be mindful of this gap from the envelope at the top. So let's quickly stick that down. Okay, so we've got that one in place. Now what I did was I used the die, as I explained to you, to make this sort of gateway bit there. So that is my, let me grab it, but this is the Essential Studio Light Essentials Cutting and Embossing die, which you've seen me use before, and it's stencil SL115. all right, so that's what that is, and I have enjoyed using it because it gives you the outside piece, which is what I've used in a piece that I've double-sided printed from the kit, again from the Shabby Florals. So you get that piece, and this was a perfect size for my envelope. Just look at that. So that was fabulous. And then of course it gives you the other little bits to cut the pieces that are ever so slightly smaller, like that. So it's all very easy. And then of course it also gives you the rectangle piece for you to cut the inside piece, which we're going to stick down over there. All right, so let me glue that all up. So there we've got that all sorted. Again, all pages from the Shabby Florals kit, which are so pretty. Right, now we want to position this on here. I'm going to move it slightly lower rather than higher, because we are going to have a tag. So when you put in your tag, you don't want it to be too high. So try and get that fairly low, like that. So I'm going to position that like that, so we can stick this down as well. Okay, so there we go. We've got that bit done as well. Now I've got a little pocket that came from the kit, which was perfect. So I thought, oh, I will stick that on over there. Love this little pocket. So this is really made very easily for you. Now remember, if you don't have one of these dies, you can easily do this with other things. Go and have a look if you've got a scalloped big circle die, or if you've got other, you can just make rectangles, or you can just make a circle. Go find a bowl and just make 2 circles. Remember, as I showed you before, you can stick 2 circles or shapes from something else that's around you. You don't have to go and spend money. It's just something that I have, you know, so I'm making use of it. So there are other ways to do that. Okay, so we've got that there. Now all we need to do is put some eyelets on here. So let's do that quickly. I've got 2 little rose gold eyelets. I've got my crocodile red waiting over here, and all I did was I found the middle for one of these, which is over there, and then I just take something and gauge it on the other side just to line those up, like that. So that's very easy, and then it's just a case of not having a piece of paper stuck in there that I can't see what I'm doing. Right, so we've got our little eyelets on there, so that's perfect. And now before I do anything else, I want to just finish off the back over here. So what I did there was I again took another one of these bits from the kit, and I am going to stick this down like that, but in actual fact I did stick another piece over, which is fine. I'm just trying to get it now. If I have that, it'll be up like that, so we want it like this. So I had it like that. So let's stick that down quickly. Oh, schools go back next week. Exciting stuff for everyone. I hope wherever you are, everything's all right with the schools. I know in America, I've heard that schools have closed again, so I hope everything's all right there now. It is worrying for people, isn't it? And then I had this little scrap which came from the piece over here, the other side. And what I'm going to do is I just want to do take a little bit of this and just give it some interest. I'm just tearing alongside and taking a little bit with the flower and tore that off like that, and then just very lightly going to distress the edge there, and I'm going to stick that over here, I think it is. Yeah, or did I have it over here? I think I had it like this. No, I'm going to have it over here like that. So we just want to do this. Obviously you don't have to do half the things I do, but this is my take on it, so you know, of course. So here's the scrap I was after. I'm just going to take a little bit of this piece that we had earlier, like that. Wasn't quite how I wanted it, but there, that'll work. And I'm just going to stick that over the bit at the top there where the corner looks a bit unfinished. So we just do that quickly, and then I promise I won't be sticking anything else. Well, minor things I will be sticking, I suppose. Mustn't say that, but hopefully it'll be less boring. Okay, so that's another writing area for you, and that's the bottom there. So let's just get some of these goodies in here, seeing as I'm going to close it off. So I've taken this beautiful tag from the kit, put it onto card and stuck in a little bit of a flat bow there. So that's, I'm going to stick in there like that. And then I've taken this piece which comes out of the front window, which I thought was just a beautiful collage, and I'm going to just stick that in there as well. And then what we can do is we can just take some ribbon, really thin, it's like 2mm ribbon, or very thin, and just make a little bit of a bow here. So just angle that and then make a little bit of a bow. Like that. Alright, so it's not the daintiest bow, is it? Alright, so there's that bit, and the under bit is done. Now we've got the under bit over here, and this is our front bit. So before I stick them together, I just want to get these bits sorted. So here's our two cards. This is another page, and I've just backed those onto card as well. Taken some scraps of lace, my lace print out to make some tabs, and I'm going to just put that into this one over here, like that. And then I'm going to put this one into this pocket over here, like that. There we go. So those are going to go like that. So I think what we'll do is we'll quickly join these two up. So let's just tuck that in there so it doesn't get in the way. And then what I did was I fitted these together like that. And they fit perfectly on top of each other. And then it's just a case of take the tag out, Angela, because just now you'll stick it together. Just take these. I've got these types of the glue tabs on mine, but I'm still going to put glue on them. So I'm just going to, that's going to go on top of that. So I just want to put glue underneath here, not quite to the fold line, like that. And then we can fit these two together. So we've got that one like that, and then this one like that. And before I press them together, I just want to make sure that these are right. They are. So we can press it together now, and that should fold down nicely, and it does, so I'm happy with that. And we can put in our little tag, and the other little one that peeked through there, so that was easy. Get in. Okay, and now we can just do the little top bit. So all I did there was I used my little Tim Holtz die cuts. So I've cut one of them out, the wildflowers, in like a peach color that went really well, and I'm going to put that over there. And I love this one because it sort of goes around the circle and sort of hugs it and just peeks over, so I'm loving that one. That one's going on first. Right, so let's put that one on. I just liked it that it peeked over there like that. I love that one, that looks so pretty. And then I cut out a little lavender from the Tim Holtz die cuts as well. This is just a scrap I had, like greens and creams. And I'm going to put some glue on there, like that. Ooh, that's my tummy. I didn't eat anything because I just wanted to get this done. Otherwise it gets too dark and then I'll start panicking. Right, so that's going to go like that. There we go. And then this last little one is just like a beige, like a creamy beige, plain color, which I thought was great. Not easy to do the stalks. So, and then that one's gonna just pop up like that. So that's all of that, and I was quite happy with that. And then what I did was I made a little cluster here with some of that Liberty of London, which I put into a little ruffle, a little bit of a doily, some little sari, and this really cute, very light peach button, which I wish I could remember where I got it because I hardly have any left. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some Fabri-Tac. I just wanted to put a dot of it there, but also just on the underneath, and stick that down if it decides to come out. Fabri-Tac, it's terrible. This is the end of the bottle, so it's really tacky. Okay, so let's put some of that down there. Now it's been in my cup upside down, but now it's just, you know, getting to that point. Right, so we've got plenty of that on there. And I'm going to just position that at the bottom of this envelope here, like that. At the bottom of those stalks. Okay, now it decides to come out. And then what I've done is, I've taken two butterflies. One is smaller than the other. So I've just resized them on my computer, and I have stuck them on top of each other, and I've put some of that dimensional tape, if you can have a look in there, just to give it dimension, with a little pearl in the middle. And I'm just going to put, because this glue's oozing now after the event, I'm just going to put some of that on there. Oops, let's just put the lid on. Right. And I'm going to just position that over here like that, and there we have our little creation. So let's just take all of these bits out of the way. Right, so that's what we've made today, and I'm just loving it because it's pink, and I know I've got lots of people who love pink along with me, so if you're one of them, this was just for you. And there we have our one, and here we have our other one. Oh, I've forgotten a little bit. I've forgotten a bit, ladies. Sorry about that. And all it was is this little bit at the back here. So I just want to show you quickly. I cut out another piece like that. What am I like today? And I'm just going to quickly stick that on while the glue's cooperating. And we can just stick that on like that. So it was really quick. And then I had cut and stamped onto one of my scraps of tea dyed paper this bloom with my little stamps. So I'm going to just stick that over there, and then a little butterfly to go along with it, and that's going to go just like that. There we go. Now we're finished. All right, so there we have it. That's for our tuck spot onto the page. So there we have our 2 finished envelopes, and I really love these. These are my new faves. So I hope you've enjoyed following along with me, and thank you so much for taking the time if you've stuck this far. Thank you for spending all the time and following through with me on this. I hope you give it a go, and just remember, you don't have to go out and buy loads of kits. I don't want to be an enabler. All right, you're quite welcome to, but I'm sure that if you've been following along with me, you should have this one already. I do love to use it, and just in case you're not sure, it's from Chapter 1 Papers on Etsy, and it's the Shabby Florals Kit. And as I said, thank you for spending some time and following along with me. Give it a go, share it with me if you'd like. And I'd love to hear from you and see what you've been doing with these tutorials. All right, there are quite a few ladies following along with the complete envelope series, and that's exciting. I wish I had time to do them all again myself. All right, so thank you everyone, and please give me a thumbs up if you like it, and feel free to leave a comment. I will get back to every one of you. And until next time, I'm going to say thank you very much and goodbye.